Some of these have been described as coming out of the water and then immediately taking off. And then some of these have been described as, when being provoked, disappearing, quote unquote, into thin air.
You know, fighter pilots say they're watching the way these things fly, and it's not like a conventional drone. I mean, they're pulling, you know, different kind of maneuvers that, you know, wouldn't seem almost, you know, physically possible with the existing stuff that we've seen out there. Hey, they don't show up on thermal. It's like, well, how's that possible? I mean, they're generating heat. There's a contrast that should show up on thermal.
If I'm a drone flying and I want to send a signal to it in order for it to fly in its telemetry and whatnot, it's usually what they call not beyond line of sight, meaning because of the curvature of the Earth, the radio frequency won't go beyond over the horizon. And what we are seeing are drones that are definitely coming in over the horizon. So this is beyond line of sight. Now, to do that, if you were to really want to develop a bunch of drones to do that, you need an aerial platform, either an aircraft or a satellite, to serve as a repeater to bounce the signal over the horizon to your vehicle. That takes a tremendous amount of infrastructure, coordination, personnel, and funding, and you've got to have a base to operate out of. Mm-hmm. So we're not seeing any of those. We're not seeing any, as some people said, a large ship off the coast that's maybe launching these things, and they're being seen all over the continental United States, and frankly, now they're being seen all over the world, to include Latin America, Australia, the UK, even NATO now is getting involved, and Germany's now starting to get some of these air incursions. So there's a problem here, and this administration is not, for whatever reason, willing to be transparent with the American people. So you have some people reporting very large vehicles where the navigation lights are not blinking in any known navigational colors. It's not, i.e., red and green. It's not anti-collision or avoidance lights. They're not bright white. In some cases, they're yellows, they're blues, they're purples,
or they disappear entirely.
So, right.
Meaning, or they just go totally dark, again, in violation of what would be typical FAA rules for, you know, I know as a pilot, if your strobe's not on, you know, you can't go up in the air.
Right. Absolutely. Right. Exactly. These strobes in some of them cases are not the same frequency. They're not the same colors. They may not even be navigation lights. Some have been reported being huge and silent. Some have been reported coming out of the water, and some have been reported moving away at very, very fast speed. So from a UAP perspective, and I want to caveat here, I'm not saying necessarily these are UAP, but here's part of a theory, that you have some of these UAP, these drones initially are UAP, and they are being reported by the local civilian and law enforcement population. And then what you have is a military response of drones that are going out trying to find these things. And then other people, civilians in a wider area, are reporting all the drones that are coming out, 5-6 drones at a time, seem to be doing this racetrack or this scanning, if you will, low-level scanning of the area. It's possible that they're looking for whatever maybe they saw, maybe it was UAP related, and now they're hoping maybe there was some sort of landing or a crash or something like that, and they're looking for it, potentially. And I only say that because, and the evidence there is still, there's more data needs to be obtained, but it would make sense that you have some people reporting something completely opposite than a drone. Some people say this is totally silent, it's huge. Other people saying, no, it's small, it's a quadcopter, and I can hear the whirring of the engine. Both might be true, actually. We don't know. And I think what we're seeing right now is a last-ditch desperate effort by the administration to say, look, we've got enough fires on our hands. We don't want to deal with drones right now. We can't deal with drones. We don't know what they are. We don't know where they're from. Please don't shoot one down because we don't know what's going to happen. And let the next administration try to figure this out.